Well, let's start this hour with a look at the state of the economy. We have taken a look for months now at the growing gap between the rich and the poor. This is one of the major themes at the Occupy Wall Street protests taking place across the country. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, and the middle class is slowly disappearing. Well, let's talk about those rich getting richer. Wall Street and the big banks. Well, one of the biggest banks, one of those banks that was bailed out by the Bush administration, it turns out is showing signs that it needs help yet again. I'm talking about Goldman Sachs. Now, this time it's trying at least to help itself, taking part in cost-cutting measures like cutting thousands of jobs. Goldman has also announced it's switching from 12-ounce drinking cups to 10-ounce ones in the offices to save a few $1,000s. Goldman is also buying fewer plants for the offices and has decided to make office cafeterias credit and debit card only, eliminating the need and the cost of paying armored truck companies to haul away the cash. Poor Goldman Sachs. But wait a second. Before you start taking up canned food collections for Goldman, let's look at the truth behind the numbers. That those who do work there are making more than ever before. And profits there continue to grow. So I want to talk about this. And joining me now for more is the publisher of the Trends Journal and director of Trends Research Institute, the always outspoken Gerald Celente.
Hello, Christine.
Hey there, Gerald. Let's talk about Goldman Sachs and what's going on there. Should we be concerned that this mega powerhouse of a company is now starting to lay off its employees?
Yes, in some ways. We can make fun of course, the cost-cutting measures. They're a joke. But the whole financial system is under attack. And as we saw recently with the released information from the Federal Reserve, we heard, from the J.P. Morgan Chases, of the J.P. Morgans and the other banks saying that they didn't need money while they did and while they were getting it. So we saw that they're hiding a lot of what they're saying in public, and things aren't as good as they claim to be. There have been a lot of bad bets made out there. We saw volatility in the market this summer like no one's ever seen before. And now we're going into the volatile season. So, yeah, I think we should be worried about Goldman Sachs. We should be worried about Morgan Stanley. That was the one I was thinking of, and J.P. Morgan Chase, who in 2008 and 2009, at the height of the financial crisis, was saying their balance sheets were solid, while the Federal Reserve is pumping hundreds of billions of dollars worth of loans into them.
But on the flip side, Gerald, we hear companies like Morgan Stanley, like Goldman Sachs, nobody can forget, I think, shortly after being bailed out, under TARP, Goldman Sachs was handing out huge bonuses to its executives, its employees. And, just last week, or earlier this week, Goldman Sachs won a dismissal of the case that some of the people brought against it for doing that. What do you think that says? It's hard to not feel that this company is not crying wolf.
Well, again, the dismissal of the case. The system's rigged. It's justice for only just us. That's how they got the name. These people's heads don't roll. So that's a whole different one. But yes, they may be exaggerating their plight. But on a much grander scale, whether it's Goldman Sachs gang or the Credit Suisse swindlers or the Citigroup criminals, you name it, they're all in trouble. Look at the downgrades that we saw hit the banks just a few weeks ago, not only in the U.S., but around the world. So, yeah, Goldman Sachs may be crying the blues in trying to ease the pain of public hate against it. After all, remember Lloyd, I'm doing God's worth blank fine, has made a lot of enemies. So that may be a charade, but the big picture is this thing's going down.
It's still hard for me to believe, but it seems to me, Gerald, that you're saying I shouldn't be shocked that Goldman Sachs, won this dismissal of the case. But what about, what about what's going on? I know you're up in Kingston, New York, but what about what's going on the streets of New York City, the streets of LA, the streets of Chicago and Denver, people protesting against these big banks? Do you think that this is going to have any effect on changing this system that you say is rigged?
Not right away. It's the beginning. And by the way, I don't know why people are so outraged at the behavior of the police on Wall Street. I mean, this is what they do everywhere. Did you see the G20 meetings when they had enough body armor to walk through the Battle of the Bulge unscathed, beating up co-eds? This is what the police do. The police in the United States have become nothing more than enforcers for the crime bosses. That's all it is. And I love this talk about how around 9/11, they kept talking about they hate our freedom and liberty, and that's why they attacked us. What freedom and liberty? This is what the police do. They use excess force to quell the people. You can't riot in this country, so you're going to see different kinds of riots than you're seeing overseas.